Is that mic on?
Welcome, everybody, to the City of Oak Hill Commission meeting. We'll now come to order. We all could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Please seat it. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hyatt,
Here.
Vice Mayor Catagano. Here. Commissioner Drawling.
Here.
Mayor Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Warning.
Here.
All here.
All right. Agenda modifications, commission opportunity to add, move, or remove items from the agenda. Are there any modifications needed to be changed to the agenda?
No.
Okay, none at this time. Moving on to presentations. We have a sheriff's report.
Captain's here.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm assuming you got the June stats and calls for service.
Yeah.
So the good thing is there was only one total event that was reportable in the city of Oak Hill for the month of June. And it was a shoplifting at the Family Dollar General where a person passed a counterfeit bill. So it counts for both charges on here, a counterfeiting, forgery, and the fraud. So both of those stem from one person. It's a female. She also hit the one in Edgewater. We're still following up leads on that. But other than that, there was absolutely no reportable crime in the city of Oak Hill for the month of June.
We got to do better.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's either people aren't calling it in or we're doing a great job, one of the two. So flip a coin, I guess, on the day. But as you can see, our calls are abundantly proactive, like usual, with the deputies that are here. 118 extra patrols, which accounts for 23% of the calls for service. And on the second page, the bottom, we average 16.93 calls for service per the deputy here, and essentially that's a lot more than most deputies get anywhere else in the county. So, and that's all I've got. Is there anything from you guys?
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well,
Keep up the good work.
have a spectacular evening.
You too.
You too.
Thank you for joining. Citizens' participation, public input.
Ms. Welch.
Good evening, commissioners and attendees. The first group I'm representing tonight is the volunteers of the museum. We want to thank Mayor Taylor and Jana for making a very successful Meet the Mayor and the Mrs. event at the museum. It was a pleasure to host you there and have so many citizens come out and spend time with them. It was really wonderful. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Look for more events coming up at the museum, more diverse, all kinds of things. The second thing that's really exciting is the museum would like to thank Mike Armin for this wonderful print magazine. You'll see them up here. It's the Daytona Region, Greater Volusia County, Florida, Livability. And on page 42, so everyone can grab it, they got a feature for the VIA Hall. So there's a big portion of the article that talks about the museum, the VIA Hall, the historic significance of it. It really allows our town and our museum, for those of you sitting behind me, to shine. And so we want to thank Mike Armin for all the work that he does for the city and for the museum, and we appreciate the promotional work you do. My next hat belongs to the American Legion Auxiliary. This Saturday, very exciting for those of you with kids, we are having a very big back-to-school bash up at Post 285. There will be games and prizes, a bounce house. They're going to have a DJ. The Oak Hill fire truck will be up there. Clyde the therapy pony, that's the big one, I think, Miss Linda. And then they're going to have Touch a Truck and more. Food will be available. They're doing breakfast, sandwiches, hot dogs, snowballs, and everything. This is a free event, and all of the kids will get back to school gifts for all of the events that they play and all the games. There are flyers. There's a flyer up here in the front at City Hall, and I've got a few flyers out here in the back. Thank you all very much.
What's the time?
Oh, the time. That's a very good question. 9 a.m. to noon.
9 to noon.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Ms. Evans?
Good afternoon, everyone, or evening. I'm up here because I was out of town for a couple of weeks, and I'm just trying to see if and when the issue we came to discuss in regards to the church, when would that issue be addressed, decision made in regards to that?
Who wants to address it?
Anybody?
Still waiting on bids.
They're waiting on bids?
Yeah.
Is that all we're waiting on?
We're waiting on bids at this point.
Okay. And I also want to make a comment. Basically, it's a reminder. I remember when several of you were running for election, many of you spent a lot of time at my address talking about positive things that were going to be done in the city. And I'm just hopeful that I read over the little flyers you had. I was cleaning up my room, and I ran up on all the flyers, and I'm reading them, and I'm like, they not doing none of the stuff they said they was going to do. And that's my personal opinion. Because I haven't seen any of you back over there since. When you were running, you were pounding the streets, getting your votes, whatever it was you need. You were making promises. You were calling people, asking for this. You promising people this. You promising people that. And none of your promises, none of the things that I've noted that you put on your flyers in regards to your election that you have done or trying to do. And the number one priority to me at the time was hurricane season. And how this road floods over near that park. All right? And how dangerous that could be for the children in the community. Now, initially, thank you, Joe. Joe and Charlie Dean were on top of that. Charlie not here no more. I don't know what's going on with Joe. Okay? But I would really like to see something done. I don't know if you all have put in place any type of emergency plans that I have been requesting that we do in the last, I believe it's over 3 years now, maybe longer. Well, we need emergency plans in place for these elderly people that we have in these communities. We need to know who they are, where they are, what their needs are, so their needs can be met in the event of an emergency. And the only thing I am honestly asking any of you all to do is to care. Caring for someone else is not a hard thing to do. It's easy. It should come naturally. But in a lot of cases, it don't. But I just want you all to be proactive with a lot of the things that you said you want to do, you were going to do, and get it done. We don't need to wait till something seriously happens. We've been blessed. It's a blessed city. It's a lot of people in this city who are praying people. And I think that's a lot of the reason why all of this stuff keep just touching us and not taking full advantage of us. So, please, and if you could get to your mic, see your mic so far away from you, I can't even hear you when I'm sitting there, and I just dare not to sit at home and try to look at it via the little yes,
Yeah.
because I can't hear anything.
Thank you, Ms. Evans.
Okay, and thank you for listening. All right.
Yep. And just to let you know, at our July 14th meeting, there was a consensus to bring back the church
Thank you.
on August 11th. So
All right.
it was a consensus through our whole commission to bring it back at the August 11th meeting.
All right. Thank you very much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Ms. Evans, were you here for the stormwater,
Excuse me.
the stormwater workshop that we had?
When was it?
That we just did the stormwater workshop. I don't have the exact date.
Okay,
But we did do a
If you
stormwater.
just did it within the last couple of weeks, I went to North Carolina,
Okay.
so I wasn't even here. And
So
I
we
knew
have
I
been
was
working
gonna miss
It
stormwater.
was,
It's
it
why
was
I'm
further
here.
back than
Yeah, I
that.
understand.
Yeah, she missed it.
Okay.
Greg Livingston?
Good evening. Greg Livingston, 206 Randall Avenue. I just wanted to get a couple things clarified and find out what we can do or what I can do. I just recently bought 2 lots over on Indian Harbor. Never a septic tank, never anything on it. They're empty lots. There's 3 lots there. I'm finding out now that I would have to pay $18,000 for each pod. I need 2 of them to put in there. Now, is there any grant money or anything like that from the Indian Harbor,
No, sir.
stuff like that? Nothing?
It's all
Where'd
been
that money
used.
go?
It was all used on the Indian Harbor Sewer Project.
There wasn't any money allocated to anywhere else?
Nope. The grant money that was issued for Indian Harbor was used in Indian Harbor.
Okay, but no money was taken out of the Indian Harbor
No,
money to go somewhere else?
no.
Can't be.
Okay. So the other thing is $18,000 is what I'm being told per pod or whatever like that. I talked to Becky at Metro, I think it was. She says the pods are $6,000. And then I'd have to have it delivered or whatever like that. And she says, if you're gonna have it delivered to your house, which I said no. She said, you'll have to pay freight and sales tax. And I said, no, I shouldn't have to pay it. Like that. I talked to Christina in Volusia County about hooking up. I said, what's the $6,164 impact fee? She goes, for hooking up the sewer and water. I said, okay. I said, so why am I paying $18,000 for a pod? That should have been there to start with. So I told her, well, it's about 2 weeks ago where I was talking to her and stuff. I said, well, I said, there's no pods there. I said, I'm just gonna apply for septic tanks. And they tried to say, well, you can't put a septic tank. I said, yes, you can. There's an exception to it. Yes, there is. I've already been through it. Well, it says, Florida statutes. An aerobic septic tank, the presence of a non-operable sewer system within 200 feet does not prohibit the installation of a septic tank. I don't have an operable septic tank system or a sewer system in my area. There's no pods there. That's not operable. I'm just saying, that's the way they got it. And I've already talked to a couple people about it. They said, if there's no pods there, there's nothing to hook up to. I go, no, there's nothing to hook up to. They go, that's not operable. That's inoperable.
If they'll
So
let you put an aerobic system
I'm
in,
gonna try.
good luck.
Yeah, I'm going there next week.
I don't think they will, but you're one
Well, according to
administrator.
Florida statutes, they have to,
Okay,
so.
well, you can
we'll see.
try, but basically you're 3 years too late and
Well, I
one
didn't own the property. I'll
adminis-
go land on the property for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I know,
Yeah.
but as far as wanting,
Well, I
there's
know- I know-
nothing we can do
I know,
about
I
it
know.
because
The
this was
contract that was
done before.
from the mayor before, is the one that screwed it all up. It
The
should have been
engineering,
every-
the designing,
it should have
all
been
of it
every
was
lot
done
had a
before.
pod. Every lot should have had a pod, no matter what. That's what it
When-
should have been.
It should have, but when the contract was written out to Mead and Hunt and they designed the plan
right.
and they did everything,
The mayor didn't do anything about it.
they made it strictly for sewer to septic. Septic rather to sewer.
It's that subject, yeah, the other way
Okay.
around. Subject is-
Okay, and,
Yep.
and they designed it only for the existing homes that were in
Right. Yeah,
Indian
I've
Harbor
got the contract.
Estates
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, I've got the contract. I
And-
read the contract.
And so there's nothing that
So
could be
anybody that
done.
has a lot, there's only 3 lots, I think, left or whatever like that. So
There
there's
were
some-
probably 4 or 5,
Yeah.
6 lots in there that were vacant lots, yeah, in there that didn't have anything.
Right, so those 5 residents were 5, there's actually, I own 2 lots, the other person has the other one.
Yeah.
So there's only really 2 people that need pods, you know, it's on the same other sides of our property.
And the
and stuff. And
gentleman.
there's no grants that we can go for or anything like that, there's nothing we can do. So
At this
I have to
point,
go to
no.
Volusia and try to get the septic tanks put in, okay?
That's your only option
Yeah.
at this
Well, it's
point.
not a good option, but, you know,
It's not.
no, it's not,
I
it's
mean,
it's not right for us to have to, you know, pay $18,000 for a pod. And in Volusia County, the girl there at Volusia County told me, she goes, well, they got extra pods. I go, no, they don't. I go, they don't have nothing.
No.
And she
And-
goes, what do you mean they don't have that? I said, they don't have nothing. There's no pods there because there's supposed to be some pods there. I go, no, there's no pods. So we'd have to order the pod, or the city would have to order a pod. I'd pay you all, whatever. City orders the pod. Then you have to get, I think, fly some guy in that has to sit there. And then Metro has to come down and do it. So that's where the $18,000 comes in.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Unfortunately.
So we got no relief for the citizens of Indian Harbor.
I mean, what was it, Justin? I forget the gentleman's name. Maurice.
Justin,
Maurice. Maurice came and he argued that 3 years ago. He wanted to see pods put in 3 years ago.
Oh, I did. I talked to Mead and Hunt. I talked to Richard Daly.
And they were told no.
Yeah.
That it
Richard
was
told
strictly
me
septic.
that they were gonna put them in. I sat there week after week with him, out there in the truck area. He says, we'll put some pods in there for you, because you're gonna buy those. I said, okay.
Yeah.
Never put them in. So when I got back with him, I said, where's the pods?
And
They
Greg,
came back and put stub outs,
Greg, we're gonna have
But-
to either put it on the agenda.
but no
or-
pods.
or
Can we
get
please
with-
put it on agenda and then figure out
get
something
with
what to
John.
do? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for, you know, trying to find
It
some
might
relief
be-
or something. It's
It
kind of
might
bad.
be cheaper, Greg, to pay for the pod than it is to put an
No,
aerobic system in.
I've already got those figures, so,
Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Because I gotta get
Okay.
2 pods.
okay.
So that's $36,000.
But for 2 lots.
Hmm?
2 separate values, 2 lots, not one.
18,000 for one pod, for one lot, 18,000 for the other lot.
Correct.
Yeah,
But
36,000.
you'll have 2 lots though, so it
Why-
might cost you
No, it's still
36.
$36,000.
Why can't you do like every other house in there and put one pot in between the 2 lots?
Because the stub outs are already there. They're gonna come back and tear that back out and put one pod in the middle. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But I still gotta pay for
I think
another.
that would be
Get
your
2
cheaper
stub-outs
way
on
to
one
go.
pod.
Well, Volusia
And
County
buy
said they're not
one-
gonna do it, so, I
one-
mean, who's gonna do it? Metro? Who's gonna pay for that? See, that's what I'm saying.
You have to take that up with Volusia County then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the girl that's got the lady that's got the pod or the place next to me, you know, we gotta have a pod there. She'll share one and I'll share one side. Like that, so,
yeah.
but,
Okay. Thank you, Greg.
all right.
Good luck.
I'm done.
Glen Hale.
Glenn Hale, 318 Palm Avenue. I'm here again because of Damian James. His complaints have gotten taken care of. They got fast-tracked. I got all my stuff thrown off my property. The complaints I turned in against him, because he turned in complaints against me, have not even been looked at. And, you know, they were fast-tracked against me. What's the hold? There's a video out. There's a body cam video out. Did y'all see it? Have you seen the body cam video of Damian James? You might want to watch it. He's claiming that all of his complaints come because the commissioners told him to put the complaints forward. The officer looked him right in the face and said there's a variance that the commission gave the Carters, and then that variance, he's complaining about it again. Damian James even sued the city over this variance, and of course lost, because the variance is good. So the officer was basically going after Damian James for harassment, because he's asking for this variance again against them. And he told the officer that the commissioners told him to file the complaint, and he had nothing to do with it. You saw the video. Wow. Did y'all tell him to do that?
Absolutely not. I asked him for a list when he came forward with his problems.
Yep.
I told him, give me a list of the current existing complaints you have so that I can meet with our city official here and bounce it off of his list to see where he's at. I did not tell him, and all those code violations were in there were dated way before that,
Right.
so.
You know,
that is
he's
completely
blaming the
inaccurate.
mayor. He's blaming Joe.
I told you-
Joe, did you tell him?
Mr. Hale,
Yes.
He didn't say that to the cop, Mr. Hale. If you're
He-
gonna ask
he
me
did.
a question, I've seen the video 3 or 4 times.
Would you like to play
He
it?
didn't say that.
We're at a 3-minute discussion.
We have a laptop. It takes 2 seconds to get to 25.18,
Get with John and we'll check it out.
okay? He said it.
He didn't.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna wanna watch the video. It's pretty damning,
Told the cop
pretty damning.
exactly what Charlie just said.
What's gonna happen with my complaints?
So, Mr.
There's-
Hale.
Yes.
if you remember correctly, I called you and I told you the same thing. If you've got any violations, feel free to submit them, and we'll make sure that they get pushed
They've
through.
been submitted, Mark.
Okay, we don't have, our gentleman, he's no longer in that position.
They're
Mr. McGrath
filed,
is-
Jim. They're filed. They're
Okay.
here. There is a
Okay.
complaint here. It's been
We-
here
we
since
don't have a code
February.
enforcement guy right now currently.
Well, you had one when it came to me, and my complaints were in at the same time Damien's were.
Mr. Hale?
Same
When
time.
we get a code violation guy, I promise you, we will address yours.
Okay.
Until then, we're gonna have to put him on hold.
Okay.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah. Damien James just called the sheriff on me for, I cut down a dead tree on the driveway because I'm gonna put a driveway to my front property right where this dead tree was. So I cut it down. It had a few live shoots on it, but otherwise it was dead. Called the sheriff. Had the sheriff come down. Sheriff basically told him that he can't do property lines, da-da-da-da. It's gonna be a city issue. Okay?
Thank you, Mr.
He
Hale.
went and bought a 4x4 and put it right in the middle of the driveway where he claims his property line is, where we talked about that 10-foot or that 30-foot easement, and he put it in the ground. Now it's going to stay there. I would like to get with you at the end of the week, maybe next week, get the fire department down there to let the city know that they came down there and said it needed to be 30 feet at one point, and we need to do that again. Okay, if I do that with you, John?
Thank you, Mr. Hale.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Okay,
Mr. Hale?
absolutely. Thank you.
Mr. Hale, I stand behind what I said. When we get another code enforcement guy in here, we will address your concerns.
I
Okay?
appreciate that, Mark,
I will-
and you have said that, so I
Yes, sir, from
appreciate
day
it.
one.
No one else has said
And
that.
I've done the same for Damon. I've tried to keep it fair across the board.
Yeah.
Can you
And I-
guys make sure your mics
This
are on?
one's the crazy, this one's the one that's the problem. It is.
Please. All right, next.
I believe that's all, non-agenda items.
Okay. All right, moving on to consent agenda. We have minutes for July 10th, July 14th, for the budget workshop, and July 14th commission meeting minutes.
Motion to approve all three.
Second that.
There's an awful lot of items that are missing in these minutes. So there's no detail.
They're action minutes, Commissioner Warren.
Okay, well, in the past, we've always had, detailed information. I was just wondering, why have we changed that and we're not doing the detailed information anymore?
So Drew might have done her minutes like that, but that's not how I do my minutes.
Well,
From a regulatory standpoint, Commissioner, we are only obligated to capture action taken by the commission members. But there are certain styles of minutes that go, range from verbatim to a summary of the issue. The commission discussed the issue rather than the dialogue back and forth during the discussion. If the commission would prefer that we capture more detail in the minutes, we're happy to do that for you, but
I'd like
it's
to
a matter of preference, really.
personally, I'd like to see the detail be put back in that we used to have in there. And so that when you have to go back and look at the minutes, there's more information there. That's my personal preference.
I like it just the way it is.
Just a one-liner. I mean, it is nice that we have videos that we can go back and take our own notes and start writing it down, but, it's just something I would like to see more detail in. So.
there are some vague moments throughout where the context could be taken as a statement or a question.
Okay.
And if it just has a comma afterwards, you don't know if what's being said is an actual question or you're making a statement in some places. So that's the only places I've seen.
So are you wanting verbatim minutes as well, Mayor?
It doesn't have to be verbatim,
No.
you know,
A little higher level of detail in the
Yeah.
conversation.
a little bit more
without being
detail.
verbatim, like quarter
Right.
to quarter minutes.
Right, just a little bit more information on there.
I'd be happy to take a look at how we're doing it now and see if we can find that medium, where the context of the situation is maybe depicted a little bit further in
Right,
detail. So
exactly.
for-
I'd
from a
appreciate
historical
that.
standpoint, looking back at the minutes, sometimes that's helpful for
Mhm.
reference as well. We can look at that.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we took a motion in a second. We up for discussion, so.
Okay.
No,
You can
Yes,
make a comment.
please.
Just state your name and address, please.
Evelyn Evans, 202 Flamingo Road, Oak Hill. One of the concerns that I have is where you all state on these things, minutes, this, that. It ain't on here, but previously, they would put this budget, that budget, whatever. But you're voting on something that if someone wasn't physically in that meeting, we don't know what you're voting on. Because the meetings aren't here for anybody to see. It's just saying meetings, minutes. Yeah. And if any of you recall in the past, this is where we got into issues financially. Because nobody wanted to be clear about this. We voting on October bills and this bill, but ain't nobody showing the bills. What bills? But you're paying bills. And
That was back when Con was here, and she used to turn around and put the bills with the agenda packet that she used to give to the commissioners. I remember what you're talking about, and they would just say, do you want to vote on paying the bills? And everybody would say, yep, pay the bills, and that was it. Unless you had a full.
you're saying that they're only privileged to you, the commission? Is that what you're
We
telling
don't
me?
even get them now. That was something Con did
Yeah.
7, 8 years ago.
Look, Con ain't here.
I know that.
We know where Con need to be, but Con is not here.
But I'm just saying that process was done,
Okay.
6, 7
So
years ago.
we need to be crystal clear in what we're doing in the city, period. Okay? So there will be no misunderstanding. Misunderstanding
I know.
causes confusion. And I
I
just want you all to eliminate the confusion. That's all I'm requesting. Just eliminate the confusion. If you got minutes, why not share them, with,
They're online.
okay?
We just don't print a bunch of packets, but anytime you want them, just reach out to me and I'm happy to get them to you.
Okay, I'm gonna have them before these meetings.
Probably not for this meeting, I think.
Not
so,
necessarily this meeting.
But the next one, you just reach out to me and I'm happy to send it.
All right, but I would like a copy of all of this prior to any decisions being made on anything that's going on in this city. I want to know.
The agenda packet is online.
Okay.
You
I wanna
can
know.
go online and print it out and look at the agenda packet, usually, 4 or 5 days ahead of,
It's usually a week.
Yeah.
about a
And-
week,
least a week.
roughly.
And I can come here and request it too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And actually,
And that's what I'm
when they
doing.
make the agenda, you put copies out at the front desk for people.
Could you? Would you? I would appreciate that. Okay. I would really honestly appreciate that. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
You might be being funny, but I'm being for real.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the public? And at this time, go for a vote.
Commissioner Hyatt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Catigano.
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Commissioner Werning.
Yes.
The ayes have it. Mayor.
City Administrator.
All right, let me follow up to a couple things that have been asked over the course of the last few meetings. First one's the ARPA funds balance. There's been some question about the amount that is in the balance now as we speak. And also the question as to whether we would have to return funds if they weren't spent at this point. We do not have to return any unspent funds. That's the good news. I'll start with the good news.
John, your mic,
He's speaking to you.
can you get your mic so that, because we can't hear you on the recordings.
Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. All right, there was some question first as to whether funds would have to be returned. We're not in that category as a city. The city aligned itself well with ARPA funding and was in a situation, according to population and budget, that the funds did not need to be expended by December of 2020, obligated by December of 2024. So the money is in the bank. That's the good news. The bad news is there's a balance of about $145,000 that is in the bank. That's been transferred over to TD Bank, our new bank now. That's not attributed to anything specific. So that funding, while you could account for it as ARPA funding, it's not. It's in the general checking account right now. It's not a terrible situation, but I would advise that we spend that money this fiscal year on some of the items that we've been talking about, having to do with ditch cleaning and other more expensive measures, so that we'll allay some of the impact on the budget for next year. So that's the long and short of it. The city did a good job of purchasing equipment, tractors, paid public safety expenses as well, did some personnel expenses last year or the year before. This goes back to October of 2021, as you all know, when COVID was hitting its height, and the money was received. It is accounted for. It is in our new banking institution, and it's available. So the only missing thing there now, as it stands, is that it's not attributed to an ARPA account. We're going to work on that. We're going to make sure that it's attributed to an ARPA account as it was before, so that we can track the expenses and everybody knows this is ARPA grant money being spent on particular items of equipment. So,
You got a question, John?
Yes, sir.
Why was it attributed before to a certain thing and it's not now?
that's a little bit of a mystery. Over the past year or so, I believe the city somehow, it may have to do with the turnover, staff turnover.
You're saying
County-
somebody took $140-something thousand out of an account that was marked for ARPA and moved it into the general fund?
Now, I think originally the city deposited half of the ARPA money, which was about $554,000 into a general account
At SunTrust Bank.
at
Right,
SunTrust,
right.
two banks ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
And
what,
the other half was accounted for through ARPA. I can't explain why.
The
Don't
other
know the
half was put
rationale.
into the general funds at SunTrust Bank, and the other half was into the ARPA account. And this was dating back way before any of you got here or any of us got here, so we've been working with James Moore to try to track what exactly did they account for. So that's where we're at.
How are they filing their reports properly if they don't have everything in the?
Well, we'll see when the audit comes out here, how they account
Well, I mean,
for it.
they report to the feds. The
Mhm.
feds aren't looking at our audit.
Well, they report to our auditor, so they
But
work
we
together.
hired them, we paid them money, I guess, once a year maybe, to take care of all of the reporting requirements that were attached to the ARP, because it didn't come with just strings attached. There were certain
Right.
things that the city had to do in order to qualify for that money. So how are they doing that if they don't know where things are and why they're there?
We haven't
Because
unearthed
that's
the
like
entire
pretty
mystery
much
yet.
the equivalent of an earmarked fund, right? You're only allowed to use it for certain things like
Yes.
infrastructure. things like that, so if it's in the general fund, you know, that's something that can never be straightened out, John.
I believe it can be, and the way to straighten it out is to account for it going forward, because we can't unearth every mystery that's 4 years ago to now. What
And
we
in-
can do is now account for it the right way and move forward. It's probably the best and most efficient way to do it, rather than spending too much time going down that rabbit hole, because we got things we gotta get.
How do you know that that actually happened the way that you described it?
That what happened?
That they took half and put it in the general funds and left the other half and properly
Just piecing through the prior.
created account?
The prior statements.
I think, Joe, maybe you're a little bit confused, if I can help.
Well, thanks for your assessment there,
Um,
Kate. I appreciate it.
What John was saying was that there was
I heard what he said. I don't need for you to explain
45,000.
anything to me.
Oh, fine. If you don't want to know the answer, I'll be glad not to tell you.
So that's the summary, Mr. Mayor. If there are any questions, I'm happy to follow up now or at a later time if any commissioners have any outstanding questions about that balance. But we're still working through it, and I may have another update for you at the next meeting.
I think it's good we found it.
Mhm. Now we got to
Making progress.
buy some
That's more
equipment.
money than we, yeah. More is always better.
We have contacted Corey Surveying having to do with the codification of the charter amendments. I believe Appendix A is outstanding, which is the meets and bounds for the city. Because if you go into the charter, that's the only thing missing. Everything else, I think, is updated to November
Correct.
24. So I think Commissioner Catacano asked about that last meeting. So I wanted you to know we're on it, but I don't have it completed yet for you. Working on that as well. We have I don't know if it's an issue or not, I believe the prior commission may have dealt with the horse trailers at the city park on River Road. Maybe some of the possible disruptions that are happening over there with horseback riding. And things are happening, things are going on around the water there. We don't really have a policy for that park that I know of, where such as if somebody comes into the community room and puts a deposit, you know, and has to clean up and do all those things. We don't have that situation over there, so I know there are companies or nonprofits or otherwise conducting business over there, bringing kids over, horseback riding and that kind of thing, which is great. And I don't want to curtail that or obstruct that in any way. But we are working on a policy to try to handle it better, because there's a couple problems that have to do with tying up the horses, and the horses needing to, you know, use the restroom, things like that.
They need to clean up after
Yes,
themselves.
that's pretty much it. And so we would have requirements for all of that, just to standardize it, make it a routine thing, so that we have a policy and an application form, and handle it that way.
In the past, there was only one trailer and maybe 3 horses. Now we're up to 3 trailers, 4 trailers that are blocking the park. Nobody can park there, and they block all the parking.
Are there different companies that are coming
I have
in?
no idea. They're
Yes,
horses,
they are, they're different people.
and they're big horse trailers.
Okay. If they're blocking they're blocking the
Yeah, they
roadway?
park where people park.
Right.
You know, they're behind them, so nobody can pull in there and park if they come like with their kayaks.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't want to be like punitive. We don't want to restrict parking on the west side of River Road, but if that's something that the commission would think would be a good thing, I don't know for sure whether that's a good idea or not, but it is possible. I just want to be able to attract and make as many people as possible and make it easy and convenient to get there and enjoy the scenic amenities. I just wanted to know we were working on that. Any other questions on horse trailers? Working on 2 more bids for the structural assessment of the church structure, Cummings Park there. We plan to have that one, as was mentioned earlier, back to the commission on August 11th with at least 3 bids, but we're making the effort to get the bids, even though we didn't necessarily have to. I know we've been through that discussion several times, and I've been asked to do that, and that's what I'll do. So we'll be back August 11th. And the final, is it the final development order, Michael, for Oak Ridge Colony? Is that coming to the PLDRC
Yes.
here soon? Okay, I just want people, that's a high profile project. I just want everybody to know that was coming to the PLDRC, and then it will come to the commission after that. I believe it'll be before the planning board in
PLDRC in August, yes.
Thank you. Have a meeting scheduled with the county to talk and follow up to the last, we did a hurricane exercise last week, just to go through the process. Travis and I were there, and just to get in the loop, having to do with the dialogue countywide, sharing resources, staying in conversation with other cities and towns where we can share resources, personnel, equipment, and that kind of thing when it hits the fan. And the next initiative, and I'm working with the county for some advice on this, Jeff Volusia County Emergency. Anyway, very helpful people. Clint Meacham and his staff have been very helpful. Ben Bartlett. We're talking about our own emergency operations plan, and they have a template for us to use. So that, as many of you have suggested, that the city has its own plan, so we don't have to rely so much on the county for their resources. I think a combination of the two would be a good thing going forward for us. And I had one other thing.
So you are working on an emergency plan?
Yes, sir.
So that's being worked on
I
now.
would have a draft in front of you by the end of the summer. And we'll have a budget workshop at 4:30 p.m. on August 11th, prior to the regular meeting that's scheduled for 6 o'clock. We'll present a tentative budget to the commission, have a good dialogue, and we will be going from there. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, and any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay. What's that?
So, Mr. Mayor, the Oak Hill Sports Club has been, they requested to just be moved up on the agenda, just due
Yep.
to her having children and things. So
Yes,
You guys would be okay with that?
I was going to ask the commission if
Okay.
they would allow that.
Perfect.
So Oak Hill Sports Club would like to be moved up on the agenda to first item of old business instead of 6, because they have children. So do we have a consensus to let that happen?
Sure.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so they're up.
Erin Anderson, 569 Maytown Road.
Don Anderson, 569 Maytown Road. Thank you very much for your consideration. I appreciate that very much.
So I know y'all had placed this on the agenda due to the contract renewal. So I believe, Mr. Barkley, you have revised that, and I guess that's what we're discussing this evening. We have nothing to jump up and down about, and we're,
And just as a little heads up, the contract was actually written by your administration and your lawyer. We're just signing it. So any real questions are kind of.
and I do believe that there is a communication breakdown with your computers. I keep sending emails and they're not getting to you guys. I send them all to all of you.
I have been having problems with my email and not getting from.
Yeah, so I reached out to Leaf and he said that he corrected it, but then I sent an email again today and it was not delivered, so I had let Tasha know, so.
So I was actually gonna ask you, I revised the contract the day after the meeting and sent it to you guys. Did you-
I never received
No.
it.
You never
No,
got
I
it?
didn't.
Okay, yeah, I sent it to you the next
We
day.
actually
Okay.
called Friday, called Tasha. I was like, hey, can we get a copy of this so we can read it over the weekend and look at it?
You guys have it now, don't
No,
We had to
I
go to
looked
the
at what was on the agenda,
Consent agenda, yeah.
but it just looked like things were just pieced together. And then also within that contract, there was, the Sun Biz was not up to date and either was the insurance.
Right.
But you guys should have all that updated information.
So, long story short, I've read both the version that was included in the agenda and the one that I prepared, and staff recommendation for approval as to either. So, it's the same as last year. The dates have been modified. The only thing that I would ask is, you mentioned the insurance.
Yes.
Do you guys have up to date?
I do. I actually
Okay.
sent it last March.
Okay.
And the old one, for some reason, was put in with that one.
Okay.
So once I looked it over through the agenda, I saw that it was expired. So I reached out to Tasha and I sent her the updated one.
And some-
And the updated Sunbiz, because we have, the treasurer, she backed out, or the secretary. So we have an updated Sunbiz as well, which I also sent to Tasha and to John. Both of those items.
I believe that the commissioners were interested in times, not just dates. And so
Correct.
they were nice enough to provide the times along with the dates.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No problem.
And we have a new platform that we're using, so all of our coaches are going to go through this, it's called Sports Engine, and that's where it's through Babe Ruth, and they're gonna go through their background checks. They're also going to go through a, child abuse, sex abuse courses, and also a coaching course. So you will also receive that information once all of those have been completed.
Okay. So we'll get those for,
Yes,
And John, you did receive the updated insurance?
As long as Tasha did. I
nope,
can't
you,
say-
I sent it to you as well, but
We'll do the email check.
yes,
We'll make
and I
sure.
will check
Okay.
and see where I can find your email, and then I can also send that to you as well.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have nothing to hide.
Yeah, so,
That was okay.
again, staff recommendation for approval as to the one that was included in the agenda packet.
Okay, and then I'll check your email, and if I do not receive it, then I'll try to send you another email so I can get that contract, so we can sign that.
Okay,
Okay?
great.
Thank you.
Yep.
We appreciate
And
it.
we did not adjust the dollar fee for,
That was
there's
new.
no escalation.
The dollar,
Is that a new one?
that was a new one.
Okay.
I don't recall that one.
I was thinking inflation.
But no, I'll be happy to give you $1. But thank you, we do appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, so, I guess we would still need to have a vote on the contract, so.
Okay. All right, we have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion through council?
the only question I had was on number 11. I know you said you don't charge an event fee on there, with that's put in there, without the approval of the commission, and, well,
Everybody
Yeah,
is.
the food trucks are, yeah.
The only one that's not volunteers are the umpires. We pay plenty for those.
Oh, yes.
I just don't want to see anybody being charged for the games.
No,
So,
absolutely not.
Just,
We had the same
And- and-
conversation last spring and we said never.
I
So
know,
if you want to
but
strike that out,
it is
that'd
in
make that
there, so
easier
that's why
for
I
the
just
next
said,
time.
just so
Yeah.
everybody's on the same page.
Yes.
Well, kind of, because we're here talking about that, and it kind of got brought up earlier today, and we have to go through this process and come meet with you all and spend time to do this, and we're a nonprofit organization. We would kind of like to see that happen to the profit organizations that are happening. The horses, there's a baseball clinic going on this Saturday that's for profit. None of these people have to do the same things we have to do, so think about that. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
think, Don,
Yes.
I think one of the reasons why is because of the amount of time
No, I know,
that's tied
but
up.
this is nonprofit. I would think that somebody's actually making a profit, a business that's making a profit in your city should kind of be held to somewhat of the same standards, I would think.
Yeah, and I'm just saying that, the reason why we have this formal arrangement and everything is because it uses a lot of time on a public
Yeah, no, I
facility.
get it, and we appreciate it. Again, we feel like it's for the community, it's to benefit the kids and parents too. All of our coaches love doing it and being out there. So we feel like we're kind of giving something back to the community. This isn't something that, we're benefiting from. We're actually getting worn out in this process. We've been doing it for 6 years now, so I understand completely what you're saying. This does use a lot of the city's
Property.
property and it takes a lot of time from it, but I feel like it's for a good thing and that they wouldn't be being used as much otherwise, you know. I do understand what you're saying.
I think John's working on trying to fix the problems with the other parks.
I appreciate it. Thank
You know, it could be something as simple as saying, if you have 2 people in a vehicle, you get 1 spot, not blocking out all of them. It could be something that simple that would solve that problem.
No, I understand
I
that.
get it. It's just that they kind of get brushed to the side where we, you know, dot all our i's, cross all our t's, do everything we're supposed to do, so maybe the same considerations can be considered, because believe me, this is an every weekend thing. Every weekend we're.
Why are you pointing at me?
Because it's you. Or we're at the AMVets, making presentations, or America, I mean, every weekend we're out doing something for this club, you know, so it's a lot. It's a lot for sure. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, you guys. Good night. Thank you, John.
A discussion from the public?
I want to make a request. Since we're addressing activities going on in the park, some people seem to think they own that park. They don't have ownership of that park. Evelyn Evans, 202 Flamingo Avenue. Okay? Road, excuse me. People want to go out there and do other activities, and it's an issue. This the same person, this same female called
Miss Evans, Miss Evans,
okay, about,
Miss Evans, please address the council.
okay, tried to have a relationship with him,
Thank you.
as well as other members of my family, to try to turn them against me. Now, if we're gonna do something, let's get some drug tests and other things for anybody doing anything in this city. Okay? Because honestly speaking, he doesn't need that money, but he's not gonna do it for free. And I wouldn't either, and none of you would either. Y'all not working for free? And I'm sure some way, somebody in here getting money for what they're doing. Because I'm sure all that money's not going on those kids. Okay? And we already aware of an issue that went on with money that was geared for something else. And Khan wasn't the only one in here doing what she shouldn't do, and I'm not afraid to say it. That whole last administration that was in that room back there, prior to Mr. Adams, look at those as well. If you keep looking for stuff, you're going to find something. But if you're not looking for it and you keep allowing these people to come in here and just clean this city out financially because they think they're smart enough to do it and they're not, and nobody's saying anything, when somebody asks a question, like this young man here, he wanted an answer, okay? All he wanted was a simple answer. He couldn't even get an answer. And then you're talking to your co-person over here like he's stupid, like he can't hear. He got ears, he got 2 ears. I'm sure he can hear. But what he was trying to say, that don't make no sense. He's sitting there listening to him like the rest of us. You don't think he heard him? Now you making him look like an idiot because you, in so many words, you degrading him.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you was. You may not have thought you was, but in so many words you
On
was.
the contract.
Okay? But I just appreciate if y'all take a fine-tooth comb and look at some of this stuff, and I'm sure you'll find some gray area. And if she had a problem with what was going on this weekend, she should have been bold enough to say his name. Okay?
Okay.
All right?
Thank you, Miss Evans.
Which is none of her business.
Any other public participation? Comments?
Greg Livingston, 206 Randall Avenue. All I got is, I've got people texting me saying, did they pass the zoning approval for the dog kennel on South US 1? Please let us know. Is there something that's not yet? Okay, I'll tell them.
Greg,
Okay.
Requested a delay.
Yeah, they're texting me for that.
We're discussing the ball contract right now.
Thanks.
Any other comments from the public?
Anyone else want to speak on this item?
Can I make one last request?
Is it about the ball field?
No.
Then no. Thank you. Thank you.
Fine. I'll wait.
All right. That's it? All right, go for a vote.
Commissioner Hyatt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Catagano,
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Commissioner Werning,
Yes.
ayes have it.
And no disrespect, Mr. Hale, we just have to vote on
Absolutely.
on the subject of matter.
I understand.
Okay, sorry.
I didn't know, but now I do.
Okay. Okay, moving on to Navajo variance, 265 Navajo Drive. That is up.
I don't know whether the applicant is in, okay.
Don't believe the applicant's here, but applicant representative from the community is here.
My name is Tom Warlick, 651 Riverside Landing Drive, Oak Hill, Florida. The applicant was not able to make it. He's in North Georgia and wanted me to fill in for him. At the last meeting, the meeting was continued because there was a request for some information, more information about the actual size of the home that he was proposing or looking at for the property. I sent out or delivered to the city a letter to all the commissioners. I hope y'all receive that with the additional information that I hope clarified things substantially for you. We also went out and uncovered the surveying stakes on the property and put flags where the surveying markers were, and flags where the house would go, and also to show how far away the house would be from the paved part of the right-of-way, which is at least 30 feet away. The real issue with this lot, and I hope some of y'all were able to go by and look at it, really has to do with the fact that although this is a corner lot, it's not really a standard corner lot. And if I could pass these out, y'all could.
Sure.
If you could look at those real briefly. It's just one, if you'll pass that,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
One each, huh?
One each, please. I marked the lot in question in yellow, and then I marked all the other kind of standard shaped corner lots, and most standard shaped corner lots have a radius on the corner. This one has an extended radius, and it starts only 17 feet from the property line. And with that, it pushes the building envelope so far back on the corner that there's no home that I have been able to find that will go on that lot. And for 20-something years, I've had individuals come and ask me what will go on that lot. And back when we were doing a lot of manufactured homes, I would look at all the books on those, and nothing would fit that would be a reasonable size home. There are two lots in that section that are similar to this lot, and the other two corner lots are different shapes, and they do have homes on them, but they are 1,200 square foot homes that were put in there in 1980 and 1982, and that's certainly not what anybody wants to put on their lot today. The overwhelming majority of the people that are having homes built in Lighthouse Cove now are doing kind of our standard rectangular 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, which is the home that was depicted on the documentation that I had delivered to you that I hope you received. At the last meeting, I think we covered all the 5 issues relating to the things that the commissioners are supposed to look at in order to grant this variance. I think we covered all of those items. If there's any question about it, please ask me while I'm here. But the lot is configured, our standard lots are 60 by 100 feet in the front, 60 feet. And with this lot, the curve starts like 18 feet from the property line and goes at a fairly severe angle, which really prohibits anything from being put on it. That would be a reasonable use of the property. There's still, with the requested variance, there'll still be 30 feet to the paved property. And there'll still be the normal variance on the lots in Lighthouse Cove. The side setbacks are 7 feet. This will be a 10-foot setback, so it even exceeds what the normal side setback is. And granting this variance will allow this applicant the ability to reasonably use his property. And I think at the last meeting, I set forth the reasons why, after all these years, I feel and agree with him that this is basically the minimum variance that will allow him to reasonably use his property similarly to all the other residents in Lighthouse Cove. This is a transitional neighborhood. The mayor had made some mention of some of the size of the homes, and there are some homes that were built in there still in the 80s. And like I mentioned, the 2 other corner lots have homes that are 1,200 square feet under air, which is not what anybody wants these days. And in fact, nobody really wants a manufactured home. We haven't put one in probably 8 years. And before that, it was probably 10 or 12 years before we did that one. After the hurricanes, people want something a little more substantially built, a block home or a wood frame home with thicker 2x4s than come in a manufactured home. So I am here on behalf of the applicant to make that presentation and to answer any other questions that you may have.
I
Yes, sir.
noticed, go ahead. I'm sorry. I noticed that the septic system is on the east side of the property. The tank, or the, not tank, I'm sorry, the septic pipe for hookup.
Yeah, it is there.
It is on the, and that's on the east side, correct? I believe it is because the water is,
Yeah, there's water and sewer available.
Right.
When I got involved with the property, we brought in water and sewer to the property. So all the lots that were on an original sewage grinder system and treated water system has been replaced with Volusia County water and sewer.
because I was riding around the neighborhood and I was just looking at the direction of the houses and which way they're pointing to see if it would fit better if it was pointing another direction. And I was told by someone that it was originally supposed to be pointing towards the septic pipe that's in the front.
Well, the house would be facing the front lot, which is,
This would be the front of the lot, wouldn't it?
well, no, they would want the, which is the front, which is the side. The lot is nowhere deep enough to put a house facing that away.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see how deep that lot is, that house is at 70 feet or 64 feet, there's no way it's going to fit.
To put that size of a house
Going the
on.
other way,
You couldn't
well, unless you go way out into the right of way.
To put that size of a house though, so
Yeah.
you're just trying to
Yes.
get that house on that piece of property.
Well, almost no, I don't think, I looked at every manufactured home, which
Is
are
it ju-
sometimes easy to
is it
work
just
with,
square
'cause
footage
you
he's
got
trying to
different
achieve?
boxes that you can move around, but nothing would fit going either way.
Right, but is it square footage that he's just trying to achieve, or a footprint?
Basically a footprint, but the footprint of this home is around 1,900 square feet,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a huge house. It is a retirement community. Most people that are retired don't need 4-bedroom homes. 3-bedroom is what they normally would like, to have a guest room and then some kind of art room or office or TV room or whatever they may want to use it for. But that is our fairly standard
Mm-hmm.
home that everybody.
How long has he owned this property?
His parents owned it before he did, and it was deeded to him.
So it was passed on it, so he's had it for a few years, but he inherited it more or
He
less.
got it in July of '21.
Gotcha.
When his parents owned it, I don't know.
Okay.
For sure. But it was certainly, they had nothing to do with the hardship that the
Right.
shape
No,
of the lot.
That answered my question.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
It's not that he just bought the property and now he's looking for an exception, that's all.
No, he
'Cause knew
actually,
what it was
he
when he bought
actually
it.
used to live in Lighthouse Cove for a while, and now he wants to move back. He would greatly
I think we
appreciate
need-
your kind consideration of this
Okay.
variance, which I said is less than, it still leaves 10 feet, 30 feet from the pavement, and is more than the normal 7-foot side setback.
So before we proceed with this, just a quick reminder that this is a quasi judicial hearing. So any decision that's made is applying the city's ordinance, and it will need to be supported by competent and substantial evidence. We've actually had this proposal presented to the city planner. And the city planner reviewed this application based upon the 5 criteria and is recommending approval. In particular, one of the things, if you all remember at the last meeting, the primary issue that the commission hung up on was the fourth category of consideration, which is the variance granted is the minimum variance that will make possible the reasonable use of the land, building, or structure. And the planner noted that the proposed front yard setback of 10 foot 4 inches would result in a deviation of 9.8 from the required setback. Although this deviation is roughly half of this required setback, such conditions would only exist along approximately 30 foot section of the entire curvilinear front of the property line. And so, taken with that, another thing that I thought was pretty important in terms of consideration of this is this idea that is he just trying to maximize the biggest structure that he can put on this property. But this is a pretty limited, this zoning classification in and of itself has a pretty limited total lot coverage limit, which is 35%, and this falls below that. So we're within, less than 35% of the lot's going to be covered by the building. He still has to, get into that corner a little bit, but it's only along about a 30-foot section. Again, I'm not a planner, but at least from where I'm sitting, it seemed like a pretty reasonable use, and I believe I saw somewhere, although I can't find it in the staff recommendation, somewhere that there may even be minimum required footprint for this zoning classification, and if we had to get something that fit within the confines of this, we may be flirting with not being able to do that. So if that's the case, then the variance is almost necessary. So long story short, Again, staff is recommending approval on this based upon the findings of the planner.
Okay.
I got a
Thank you,
question,
sir.
Mike.
Yeah.
Are you saying that there might be a different ordinance that applies here, but we don't know?
I think I believe when I was reading it on my computer earlier, I saw something about if we were to put a structure that fit within the setbacks, it would fall below the minimum required footprint for this zoning, but I don't see it in this write-up. But in either case, this is recommending approval. It was just additional information in support of approval, but I don't see it here. I wouldn't rely on that. But if that were the case, it would make it effectively necessary to develop this piece of property.
Can the special exception be non-transferable?
So, are you talking about him getting the variance and then?
Selling the property?
I think that if the city wanted to tack that on as a condition, I mean, what's the basis of that? Just not wanting to have it be developed? I'm not sure if I'm comfortable shooting from the hip on that particular question.
It's just a question.
I guess the only other, I was gonna ask, because, probably about 4 or 5 times while you were speaking up there, you said reasonable use of the lot. And I was just wondering, what is it that you consider to be a reasonable use of the lot? Because you said that many
Well,
times while you were speaking.
I think what would be, allow him to have a reasonable use of his lot would be what everybody else can do on their lots and what they want to build on their lots. And from my experience, from the years I've been there, what people want now is that kind of standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. They don't want anything any smaller. And everybody wants a 2-car garage or bigger if they could get it.
So you're saying a 2-car garage and a 2,000 square foot house is reasonable? Because you still didn't put any numbers out, so I'm putting them in there for you.
Yeah, I think that's what we have been building in Lighthouse Cove. That's what everybody wants. They don't want to build, they don't want to spend the money on the lot and a home and not have something that they want and that they could resell when they get to the point of selling it. The smaller homes don't bring the values.
So, on this drawing here, like what, and these are, like, I guess, there's custom-made homes. The gentleman that was here the last time, do you remember that guy that couldn't hear very well? And he had got up and said, these are custom homes. So what I don't understand is, like, how come you couldn't have this line going down like that and then curving over like that? I mean, it's going to lose like a tiny little bit of this house. And we wouldn't have to issue a variance, which the city would be bound by pretty much, essentially, once they did it, to anybody else that came and asked for that. We couldn't say, you get it, you don't, you get it, you don't. We don't want to get into a situation like that. So I think that's a fairly, because it doesn't look like it's rocket scientists to just have this side of that house shaped like that, or something like that. I don't see any effort to try to, you understand what I'm asking you, right?
No, sir.
So here's this line going down, and then you got this. This is the part that's overlapping into the setback? Is that the right word?
In the easement.
Well, you mean that dark line?
Yeah. Do you mind if I come up there and show you what it is that I'm asking?
Yes, sir.
So, the edge of the house is shaped like this, and then down and around, right? But not going straight out. You would lose that little tiny bit. I'm not seeing a whole lot of hardship being caused right there. And if it's, if it's not
Probably talking about
feasible by a builder,
It's not
nobody's actually said that.
Well, I'm a builder and I'm telling you that rectangles and squares are
Well, those are always the
cheaper to
easiest,
build,
but-
and you'd have to have a special design
Right.
for
That's
that
why I'm
home,
asking,
and
like-
this is our standard home that we build for the residents we build homes for in there, with some minor modifications on what they want on the inside, not so much the footprint of it.
Right, so you're asking for a standard home to go onto a non-standard lot, right?
Because of the hardship created by the platting of the lot back in 1980, yes, sir.
Right, but this could be done.
Anything
What I
can
just-
be done, but nobody would want it, and this gentleman doesn't.
I think that's speculation. I don't think
Well, I
that's
don't-
true. I think you're just saying that, because how do you know? Nobody's, you haven't presented it to
I'm just,
anybody. Look at
I'm
it.
going by what most reasonable people that I deal with want for a reasonable sized home, and that's what we're building, this footprint home on the lots in Lighthouse Cove. And this lot is vacant and has been vacant, which should
We've
prove.
already gone over all that. That doesn't have anything to do with my question. And I just think that, the lack of the effort,
Well,
'cause I
I
don't see
said
this
last
being a hard
time
fit.
that and I said today that I went through numerous volumes of homes trying to find something that would fit on this lot without some type of variance. And this is the
Kinda showed you
minimum.
that, didn't I?
Sir?
I just pointed out one that would. With not a whole lot of house getting lost. I mean, how much would that even be? It's not.
Well, that would,
The part, the square footage of the part that's actually sticking out into the setback.
The most of it sticking out looks like it's probably porch area too, isn't it?
part of it's a porch. And,
Maybe half of it.
and the rest of it,
And that's a covered porch, correct, Mr. Worley?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Covered porch and entry, and to take anything else, you'd be taking half the bedroom, cutting half the bedroom off, the front bedroom.
Do you have a drawing of the internal layout of the house there? Oh, great, that's what I see right there.
Wow,
Who knew, right?
it does exist.
As I said, I've tried for years to find something that would fit without a variance. Anyone else want to see the?
I'll
Yeah.
take one, sir.
If you have copies.
Approach?
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Worley.
Thank you. There we go.
You have mine.
Okay,
All right.
so it's the,
This is a backwards.
so this is how it's sitting.
Yeah, but with the garage over there, not.
This is back, something?
Yeah,
On this,
yeah,
right?
it's-
Is the garage and the porch are shifted?
Yeah, it's flip-flop.
Yeah, okay. Is that
The
intent?
garage is flip-flop.
Yeah, that is.
The garage is flip-flop on it.
Because the way this is, it would go out way further.
Yeah.
The garage is on the different
So,
size,
yeah.
but
This is
the
how-
same
So it
bedroom.
would-
This is
It
how
would
the-
be
like in
taking
your
this
catalog,
section
it
and
was
part
just
of
a
this
printout of that?
bedroom number. it would
This is
take
our
This
standard.
would be bedroom three.
floor
And
plan.
bedroom two.
That's why it's like
Yeah,
that.
because it shows it going like, oh, shoot.
And
Yeah,
also-
the back.
No, it's over on
You know,
this
the-
side.
Yeah, you're right.
Any house plan that is to be constructed in Lighthouse Cove also has to be approved by the Lighthouse Cove Architecture Review Committee for conformity with the other homes in the community, so.
I want to make a motion to go ahead and approve this variance.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion, second. Any other discussion with council?
We're not builders.
No?
Did we open the floor up for?
Yes, open it up for floor. Do you have a comment?
Oh, I don't. I
Okay.
couldn't know. I couldn't-
Anyone in
Or
the
not.
public like to speak on this?
Chuck Parisi, 196 Westbrook Circle. I've been here 50 years. That lot's been sitting there for 50 years. That subdivision is still not built out. And it doesn't take rocket scientists to figure out these guys down here at Birch Road, they're gonna build that subdivision. You think they're gonna come here? If this man has been here since 1995, and the lady sitting next to him, her husband building houses in there, if they can't build out the subdivision since 1980, and he's only been here since 1996, 97 maybe, okay? Then this lot's been sitting there, and it's round, okay? We've got builders sitting right here. Some of these guys have been in there building. I have sat in this bench. We gave variances. We gave a variance on a conservation lot for a guy to build 10 foot to build his garage, okay? I think in good faith with this council, in good faith. That's a beautiful lot. It's just an oddball one, okay? In good faith. There's been several ordinances, variances given to Lighthouse Cove over the years. I sat there because they couldn't do this because of this, and they couldn't do that because of that. We always help the people that live in our city as much as possible. Christ, I sat here with Blake Lee. He was 4/10 of an acre shy of 5, and the ordinance is screwed up. On 5 acres to put a mobile home, okay? And they were gonna deny him. He was raised and born here. Guess what? We passed it. We gave him a variance, and we passed it. I said, you ever take in consideration, you never added the driveway? Oh, we never thought of that. Well, guess what? They added the driveway, come out nicely. Kid's gonna build him a home one day. Got the block sitting back there all ready to go. Every mobile home that's in that subdivision is being built by beautiful homes right now. It's all, you know, you go down Gain Street and you look at all the nice homes, okay? It's just like you council members, you've been there, you're still there. They wanted to turn that other subdivision ass backwards to have the back of the houses towards Gain Street. Now that's totally ridiculous, and I agree with you. But to not give him the right of way to this man from Georgia to build a house because it lacks a few here and a few there. Mr. Willick, your HOA, the next time somebody comes to your HOA and they want a variance to build something, think about what I'm saying with this council, okay? It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. I want to see that happen. So I'm saying to you, Mayor, you need to pass this man so they can get the building. And that's more tax money. You want taxes on a vacant lot or you want taxes on a nice home? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion from the public? None at this time. Go for a vote.
Commissioner Hyatt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Catagano.
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Warning.
Yes.
The ayes have it.
Be thankful, and I thank you.
So,
Transform 386 resolution. What you got, John?
Mr. Mayor, this is a resolution that would provide the city with an opt-in to a Transform 386 program that provides the opportunity for funding to either buy, replace, or repair properties that are affected by Hurricane Ian and Hurricane Milton. The latest round of CDBG funding from Milton just came through from HUD. And so this program is part of that funding. It's being rolled out, being offered countywide But cities, municipalities have to opt in order to have an opportunity to participate in the grant-funded project where the city would potentially purchase properties or pass through the funding for repairs and other improvements to properties that have been severely damaged by hurricanes. And so we need to opt in order to have this possibility for all intents and purposes. So that's all you'd be doing tonight is passing a resolution to opt into the program to provide that opportunity for the grant funding for distressed properties and structures.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Glad to see them. Okay. Make a motion to,
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
So-
still get a motion.
got to get a motion and a second, then you can talk.
I'll second.
All right, we have a
I'm
motion and
making
a
the
second.
motion to approve it.
Any discussion, further discussion from the commission?
We have a house that I think you and I went to when you were running, the intersection of Nancy and Maytown.
Yep.
Remember that lady?
Yep.
And I think this is the thing that, where they'll lift it if it doesn't cost as much,
To
more than
help.
the value of the house, I think
Mhm.
was the rule. Is that the same program, or is that part of that program,
The same
John?
rule applies,
Yeah.
but it also provides an opportunity for the city to buy and own these properties through the grant funding process as well, with the caveat that they'd have to be managed and maintained into the future by the city.
Yeah, so that, we definitely have people in the city that are
Mhm.
eligible for that, to
Yep.
take advantage of that money, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
She's still underwater over there.
At least they got that ditch cleaned out going from Halifax all the way to
They still got a
Cypress.
ways to go.
yeah. Any discussion from the citizens?
Mike Arman, Magdalene. We got a CDGB grant a couple of years ago for $800-something thousand, and I believe we fixed something like 14 homes, and it was wildly successful. And I would strongly recommend we do it again.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak on this agenda item?
Okay, not at this time. Go for a vote.
Commissioner Hyatt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Catagano,
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Commissioner Warning.
Yes.
Ayes have it, Mayor.
Canal Avenue Agreement.
Mr. Mayor, thank you and your fellow commissioners for the work that you've done to make this happen. The city received $186,888 from the Florida legislature, signed by the governor here recently, for the purpose of a flood prevention and mitigation plan and project for Canal Avenue. These are the forms and the application that were involved. What we're asking you tonight, because we've talked about the project, and I've got a scope of work already done and ready to go on this thing, and I'll be working with the city attorney to make sure we provide the right forms to the state, is to authorize the city administrator to execute the grant agreement going forward. And then we would bring the project scope plan back to the commission before we did any work over in the vicinity. So just an authorization to move forward is all we're asking for.
So you just need a consensus?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless the city attorney thinks differently.
No, I think that we could do that with a consensus.
Okay.
Okay.
You have it. Independent contract review.
I think we have a packet of 5 independent contracts. Not necessarily an urgent or a pressing issue for the commission, but I believe it was requested that it be reviewed by the full commission of these contracts for the various offering of services, including tree removal removal and paving, economic development services, and the like. Each one of them, I've noticed, has a provision for termination without cause at any time, so you're protected there. The question is, I imagine, I'm not assuming anything, is whether you want to scrap these contracts and move forward in a different fashion, just keep them intact and move forward based on the level and the amount, the scale of work that's been done within those contracts for the city over the past years, or just leave it alone. Because we've talked about this, we've talked about the whole sole sourcing versus RFP and bids for different kinds of projects, depending on whether they're deemed professional services or not. These contracts somehow or sometimes will preclude the opportunity to bid certain projects out because you have a contractor of record that's representing the city, and that can sometimes cause issues with other bidders who are interested in different projects. The convenience and the efficiency is that you got somebody ready to roll if you need a tree removed and things like that. So going forward, I would ask for any comments from the commission, and we will proceed accordingly.
I have a question on TK tree removal. Has anybody spoken to them in the past 3 years? I see on here that they're available for emergency basis, which is something, especially with hurricane season, a necessity. So do we know if they even still want to have the contract?
I ran the record for the expense since October 24, and I don't have any.
We haven't, yeah, we haven't used them, but I'm just wondering, do they even still want to be the contractor of record?
Is anyone from T&K Tree Removal here? No? Okay. No? Okay.
I mean, the last time I remember them here was not Matthew. What was the hurricane that came after Matthew? About 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, they came through because there was a very large oak tree on Eagle Watch that came down, and it was blocking the road, and emergency services couldn't get through to the 13 people that lived on that road. TK came out and removed the tree, cut it up, and gave open access to it. But that's the last thing I can remember them doing. I just, I'm just curious, do they still want to have a contract and still want to do the work? And are they still available for hurricane season and for emergency services?
We can certainly inquire. I know that if there's federal money involved in the bidding process, and Davis Bacon and everything comes into fray there when you award contracts. So it's not that simple when you have one firm or contractor of record when you're already obligated to bid projects out because you have federal funds coming in. That's the only. I'm not saying they don't do a great job.
No, I mean, they did do a good job. The quality of work they did was, fine. There was no issue there. I just wonder, do they still want to continue to be the contractor of record, and do they, would they still be available?
Maybe John can check with them.
More or less just update the contracts. Or update,
These were done, Con left, 3 years ago?
Something like that.
So these contracts were all done approximately a little over right around 3 years ago, roughly.
None of them were entered into in compliance with the purchasing procedures.
Correct. Well,
I was just
unless
saying, I
there was
wasn't
an
asking a
RFP.
question.
No, I mean, that might be a good, unless there was an RFP done when
There was none.
before the contracts were
This
signed.
was
they
a
would
big
be
giveaway
done.
on the way out the door.
Correct. I would recommend you scrap it, the whole lot, we start over again, to be honest with you. But that's a little abrupt, at this point.
Not to me.
Give me
Nothing like
give me
starting
the
out fresh.
authorization to move forward by considering eliminating those contracts and then starting with either new contracts or a competitive bidding policy with respect to services that are, protected by competitive bidding.
Or there's a lot of new businesses out there today that could compete against them.
Yeah.
Or like you said, they might not even be in business anymore.
Yeah.
The main
Well-
thing that I'd be looking at on this is that if you could enter into, get bids and enter into an exclusive contract with a company, it should have provisions in there that spell out exactly what their obligations are in the event of an emergency. Anything short of that, then I think that we shouldn't enter into a contract with a particular, company like that, because we have to have some kind of an advantage for doing that.
There's got to be some value there.
So I would be more inclined to look for that, because we really don't have provision. I mean, I guess this one Carrie was saying has something in it about emergencies, but I
Yeah.
don't think any of the other ones do.
No, the tree removal doesn't, and the one for the paving company, we haven't paved a road in this town, and I've been here 20 years and I've never seen one paved. So why do we have a contract with a paving company?
Their prices might be cheaper though 3 years ago.
I don't think they're gonna give us the same price 3 years
No, they're
ago.
on the contract. I got you.
That one didn't make any sense to me,
One second, Mike. Yeah.
We did pave on Nancy, didn't we, in front of the park, not too long ago, 5 years, 4 years.
You paved Nancy Street?
Paved, mhm.
Really?
It may not have been Nancy, it's the street there in front of the park. Where they had all the flooding.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember that.
The only other contractor that shows up from that packet is King's Land Clearing,
Yeah.
where we paid $850 to, over the course of this current fiscal year to date. And I don't know that we need a contract, but King's Land Clearing is greater work as they do. I don't think that's necessary.
I agree with you. We can still buy
Two other
material
contractors
from
in
them.
the city, that do that same kind of work, Ames and Lee. So we're kind of squeezing them out with having an exclusive contract like that.
They've been contacted. I've contacted both of them for our jobs.
I just don't see where we really need them necessarily.
So are we voting for this as a package? Because you have
Uh,
5 here.
Motion to authorize city administrator to review and eliminate contracts.
Okay, so you just need.
Subject contracts.
So this would be a census or a vote to give you permission to go through the contracts and choose what to bring back to us?
Correct. Yeah, you can authorize me to review the contracts and make a recommendation in the future since it's not a pressing matter. So
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can second that.
Okay. Any other discussion from council?
I think that the contracts that he does bring back should be ones that are more useful to the city than just randomly selected, like Kerry said about the paving, things like that, because
Emergency services, absolutely.
if you're gonna enter into exclusive contracts, there should be a reason, not just because you feel like doing it. I mean, because we do have purchasing procedures for a reason. And, so that's the only thing that I would be concerned about. What you did bring back should be something that has a useful purpose for the city other than just to have a contract.
I know Mike's chomping at the bits because one of these contracts is his.
Let him talk before he goes up.
Now, Mike, can we negotiate your price here again?
Yeah, we can raise it.
No.
All right.
I'm not messing with that
Hold
contract.
on, Mike. So the motion was to allow John to review these contracts and then come back to the commission with what he wants? Or what, your opinion, recommendation?
To terminate, which to continue.
So that's what the motion's for, but like Joe had a recommendation too, so.
Why would we continue any of them if they're not in compliance with the purchasing procedure? That's my question, I guess.
I get what you're saying.
I can come back to you with an answer to
Like,
that.
I would like to have, if you come back with 3 bids, so that we can fix it right there on the spot,
For any
you know?
new contract.
Yeah.
Yes.
So should we terminate now?
No, we
Make a
can do
motion.
what he wants, but when he
Okay.
comes back, we can just, you know, make sure that there's, everything's in compliance with the purchasing procedure, that's
Yeah,
all.
like you said,
Okay.
Not a big
it's not
deal.
urgent.
All right, any other discussion? Yes, Mike?
If John's gonna review them, I don't need to speak.
Okay. That's
You
why I
do
held you
not
off.
get a raise.
Unless you want me to. Give me 2 minutes and I'll. The
30
contract, the
seconds.
contract I have, Mike Arman, Magdalene. I'm your Economic Development Director according to the contract. The last money I got from the city, I think, was in 2019. It was $24. They sent me over to DeLand to attend some conference or other. The reason we had that contract was the city was working on an $800,000 grant from a major state agency and a really major federal agency for something that we still need. I had to get a security clearance to work on it. I did. That's why I'm not mentioning any initials or names. Unfortunately, we were this far away from getting the money, and they discovered, well, hey, this guy doesn't work for the city. Game over. Go away. Don't come back. So we put together this contract simply so that if we get to go back for this or anything else, we're covered. That's about it. Now, as I say, I don't charge the city anything. If you assign me to do something, then we'll talk. But in the meantime, it's on the house.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Any other citizens?
Janet Taylor, 183 East Arrow Road. Having experience working in contracts for too many years, you can go to FDOT for Z contract, kind of to go look to see kind of how they have their contracts out there for emergency services. They've got a debris removal, tree removal, fix signs, fix traffic lights, whatever. I mean, they're called Z contracts, and they're there just for emergency purposes only. And they do put them out for bid every year. And I can put you in contact with the director of procurement for this district of FDOT. So, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
Anyone else?
All right. I guess you just needed a consensus for,
That's right.
well, actually, we got a motion and a second, so, we'll-
Yeah.
We
yeah,
have a motion on the floor.
we do.
We have a motion in a second.
Yep.
What is the motion?
Linda made a motion to,
Correctly.
Linda made a motion for John to go back, review these contracts, and plus, well, you didn't add the part of you wanting, help me spit it out.
To review them and see about the emergency
Right.
factor.
The provision and bringing back 3,
Yep.
Right.
3 bids.
Bring
if you
back
can get
up.
them.
I would prefer, maybe down the road, to have the authority to go ahead and terminate or renew them myself from an administrative standpoint, but I understand the charter provides for the
Correct.
commissioners that oversee contracts, so I wouldn't want to be in any state of noncompliance there.
Okay.
All right, go for a vote.
Commissioner Hyatt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Catagano,
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Warning,
Yes.
ayes have it, Mr. Mayor.
Moving on to building inspector contract review.
That was you, wasn't it?
So, at the not the last meeting, but the meeting before, we were asked to review the contract for Dennis Fisher, the existing building official, with the understanding that the city is intending to implement a transition to using Universal as our building inspector. And the question was presented, what are our rights in terms of what action we can take with respect to Mr. Fisher's contract. The contract pretty clearly spells out terms of termination, or, I guess, non-continuance of this ongoing contract. And you need something from me?
I haven't seen anything.
Oh, okay. The contract provides that the agreement can be terminated for 4 weeks of severance pay. So severance contemplates payment of benefits in addition to payment of standard compensation. Alternatively, if Mr. Fisher were to voluntarily elect to terminate his employment with the city, he would be required to provide the city with 4 weeks' notice prior to doing so. So if the city wishes to move forward, we would need a vote, approving termination of the contract, with the understanding that that would require payment of 4 weeks severance.
I'd like to maybe look at the cost of building inspector and as opposed to our Universal, and see what the cost profit. Is there any way we could put something like that together?
Building inspector, to date, this year has cost $18,337. Universals.
No, it's okay. We pay him $16.67 a month. Dennis.
Okay.
Universal Engineering Sciences is $5,780 year to date from October 1st.
But I would like to make it really clear, we use them only when Dennis is not here.
Correct.
So,
Right, and we know that if there is an agreement that agrees to their prior proposal for a town center in Oak Ridge Colony, Universal's gonna flip-flop a little bit with the
I think
building
there's a
inspector.
representative from Universal here as well, Mike Navarro.
How much have we collected in permitting in a time frame?
You got me on that one.
That's something I'd like to look at more, is, the fees that we charged, and
At this point, up through June, we've collected $59,464.
59,000?
for the month of June.
Up to the month,
Up
up
to
to the month of
June.
June.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 5 months. And he's only cost us 18,000 up for 5
Well,
month? No, that's not
Between the
right.
two
So
of them, we're at about 20,
$16.67 a month for Dennis.
a month, okay.
10 months.
so we've paid him, up till June, we paid $16,670.
Okay. What's
And
8?
Universal, they just said was $57.80.
All right, so out of 59,000, what's 80% of 59,000?
Well, ours would be 11,800.
So we would have to pay Universal $48,000 for the same time that we would be paying Dennis?
No.
18,000?
No,
That was,
Universal gets 80% of the contract. We get 20%
Correct.
contract.
correct.
Well, I
So,
think, I believe, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
I believe that's associated with the new developments that are coming on board. I don't know that the city actually has an agreement for 80/20. Other.
We do.
You
We
have
have a
now.
signed agreement.
It's by the hour now.
I'm sorry.
It's what?
It's by the hour, is what
Yes,
the original agreement from way back
85
when.
hours or.
Yeah, we-
Per hour right now, but we're moving towards that 80/20. And the proposal is still on the books for that. going
But when we go to the 80/20, that's going to be the difference.
forward. 20% city, 80%.
So Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, can you come up here?
Yeah.
Yeah. The 80/20 was only for the new development.
That was how it was set up, yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
The only issue is you can't do anything with the money anyway, the 59,000. It can only be used to enforce the building code. So it's not like you can use a general fund. So, you know, in the realm where it doesn't, you know, the numbers don't really matter because it can only be used. If you had a surplus, you'd have to give it back to people. You have to, you know, give them back. You know, City of Daytona's in that problem right now. They have like $1.6 million surplus they have to give back. So the money can only be used for the enforcement of the building code. And that's where the 20%, the 80%, 20%, and that's just usually just the industry standard for the building inspection department, is because the 20% covers any admin fees you guys will have in the office, you know, collecting bills so you can cover your admin fees. But all the money has to be used to enforce the building code. It can't be. Oh, Mike Navarro, Universal Engineering. Yeah.
I guess I'm a little confused on the original contract that Janet had proposed to us then.
That was for the new subdivisions coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would want a completely different contract if you were taking over everything in the city?
Or we could do it under, we have an existing contract we've had for probably 10 years.
Yeah, you
For
you
85.
had
Yeah,
that hourly fee.
Yeah, we could have that contract. That was only, she thought it would just be easier with the neighborhoods because we were gonna take care of everything, permitting, you know, issuing permits, everything was gonna be handled through us. So, yeah.
In the context of if we're getting 100 permits in on a given day for a development that's happening
Yeah.
across the
Yeah.
state, Universal is prepared
They can
to
handle
provide
that.
a turnkey service for the city.
Yeah, we have 12 inspectors, so
Right.
we have to,
80/20, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
For that?
Yeah.
Yes, for the new subdivisions. Dennis does
Yeah,
not
because
wanna
Dennis
handle
had
the
said
new
he wouldn't do the new
subdivision.
subdivisions.
Correct.
Yeah, but I don't want to do anything to change Dennis, as long as we have him.
Yeah.
How many hours does Dennis work a week?
He works Tuesdays and Thursdays. Usually he comes in around lunchtime and he's here. I mean, it just depends on what his day looks like.
Gotcha. So I mean, it
Sometimes
fluctuates
he can
throughout.
be here
So
pretty
roughly
late.
a week,
8 to 10,
how much a week do you think, or a month, hours in a month?
8 hours.
No, he works more than 8 hours because,
Mhm.
and honestly, if I'm being completely fair and transparent, Dennis answers his phone all the time. So I
Yeah.
feel like he's always working. And Mike knows because he's in the industry, so people constantly are calling. So, I mean, is he physically in the building on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Yes, but all the other days he's taking phone calls and returning emails and getting phone calls from us. So even when he's out of town, he's still obligated, you know, with us to answer the phone and answer our questions and things like that, so.
Now, the question is, I guess, Mr. Mayor, moving forward is, does the city want a contract for building inspection service other than Universal? In other words, do we need to build our staff up in-house to keep the spirit and the identity of the city in City Hall here with employees who are
Mhm.
vested and want a career and want to build themselves up as part of the city instead of having a contract? That's the question for the future. It's just something to put on the radar there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm good?
Yeah.
Do you
All
guys
right.
have any other questions?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nope, thank you, sir.
Mike Harmon would like to speak, but I also have somebody on here that also would like to speak whenever you guys are ready.
Are we just having a discussion about this tonight?
That's what was requested.
Okay.
No action was requested.
Okay.
It was just to verify his contract.
Okay. So we can take public input then.
Mike Arman again. I'm wondering why we can't use both. Because,
Have been.
yeah, we should continue that because Dennis does not want to do the big subdivisions. And Dennis is a boutique operation. He also helped write portions of the Florida Building Code. And from my personal experience, he's helped me tremendously. And he's an asset because he's somebody, unlike a lot of other towns around here, he'll tell you how rather than why you can't.
That's true.
And we need that.
Thank you.
Again, Mr. Mayor, if I may, it's not the employee, it's the contract that's on the docket tonight for discussion.
Yeah.
And whether that contract meets the organizational needs of the city going forward as it stands now.
Anybody else wish to speak?
Yep.
Are we just talking about the contract
Just the
or about
contract.
Dennis?
Yeah, the contract.
The contract is with Dennis, but yes, the contract.
Jeff Bracy, 196 Westbrook Circle. I was on the council in 94 when I hired Dennis, 5 of us, okay? Has he done everything right? Hell no. And if anybody in here says they've done everything right in this world, I want to talk to you, okay? Has he had me mad? You betcha. We've gone toe to toe right in my driveway, okay? I said to this gentleman sitting right there a couple years ago on a job site, in fact, it was Lighthouse Cove, Dennis is going to retire in a couple years. He almost had a meltdown, okay? Dennis, when we hired him, we had a plumber that was an inspector, then we had these guys come off the Cape, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This is how slow it was. I don't see the doors being knocked down on the dump up here, 423 acres. When this subdivision behind me can't even get it filled in since 1980, okay? Not picking on him, but if you get rid of Dennis, which when we hired him, show him what's wrong, tell him you'll come back, inspect it, but all these years, even myself, we never wrote him up. We never put a piece of paper. His word was almost like out of the Bible. Well, you know, sometimes the Bible got a little stretched here and there, but nothing was ever wrote up on him. The man has been more houses, you can shake a stick in this place. Has this council, did the council before you, the council before yous, sit down with Dennis and say, you messed up? You did something wrong? No. Am I upset with him at times? You betcha. But you know what? If I want to pay this guy $85 an hour, and we're only paying him a measly, what, 18,000? And we collected 59? And 5,000 went to Universal? When's this big pumpkin gonna come out of the patch to BHH, or this subdivision down here that's supposed to be built in the dump? It hasn't started yet, has it? Hasn't started up the old golf course yet either, has it? Hasn't started on Gain Street yet, has it? Okay? As far as I'm concerned, I hope they never build. In fact, another thing on the agenda, we got a budget to do. We're a month and a half, and I'm not blaming you, John. When I was on this council, we started in June.
So we're still
June,
on this topic.
July,
Yes.
August. And I'm just saying, we got bigger fish to fry. We got hurricanes coming. We got one up brewing out there right now. We got mosquito control ditches that the county says they check 3 times a year, and it's wrong. I don't think the timing is right. The man is, if you look at all what he's done and versus what is wrong, I think we need to keep him on, maybe till the end of the year. But right now is not the time, guys. You got a budget to deal with. You got stormwater to deal with. You got elderly people to get out of this town if there's a hurricane. We got things to do. 20 years, we
Thank you,
ain't
Jeff.
seen a road patched, okay? So please don't get rid of them.
Thank you.
Scold them, but don't get rid of them, okay?
Actually, we're not talking about firing them at this point.
No.
Tom Warlick, 651 Riverside Landing Drive. Oak Hill, Florida. You know, I've been banging my head up here at Lighthouse Cove since 2019, probably 25 years ago now. And the only bright spot, honestly, nothing bad about you people here today, but the only bright spot in this city the whole time I've been here has been Dennis Fisher. He's the only guy that I really run into that doesn't have an axe to grind other than what he thinks is best and what's best for this city. He's knowledgeable, he's professional. Like this gentleman says, he always tries to help get something done instead of figuring out how to stop it from being done. He works a lot more than 2 days a week. I call him a lot of times when he's in North Carolina and get answers. And I know everybody else does too. He's always available. He may be not in this building, but he's available whenever you need him. And he's there to help. And he knows his stuff. He knows more about building than I'll ever know. He knows that code backwards and forwards. As Jeff Bracey said, nobody's perfect, neither am I. We all make a few mistakes and make people mad. But he's really the key to this whole operation, if you ask me. And I've said in the past, and I'll say it again, when Dennis Fisher's gone, I guess I'm gone too. Because I don't think anybody else is going to care like he does. Don't get rid of Dennis Fisher, please.
Thank you, Mr. Wood.
Greg Livingston, 206 Randall Avenue. The biggest thing I got is if Universal does take it over, where do we go to get our permits at? Are they gonna have the office here?
Well, you'll still come to the city, but it'll be done on the portal.
It'll be done on the portal.
Yeah, they have their,
So we're gonna have
Always like
delays
Volusia
and
County.
delays and delays
Yeah,
like everywhere else.
Universal's really great to work with. I've worked with them, actually on other, things within the
Yeah.
city, and they are great. However, I do have a work relationship.
Well, like all these guys said, Dennis has helped a lot, all of us, when we build stuff like that and everything. And I've been here, come here, Dennis has helped me out, and just like you said, he's not saying, no, don't do this, don't do that. He's looking and saying, okay, let's see what we can do, how we can do it, how we can get it done, and that's it. It's personal, and that's a lot better than, having some other company or whatever. I have nothing against Universal or whatever, I've seen them out here before, but I don't want to come in here, have to fill paperwork out, then go to a portal thing, and then 3 days later, I get a call, I gotta come back down. It's just too much, It's easier to be one-on-one. Thank you.
thank you.
Anybody else wish to speak?
I concur.
Okay.
I do work a lot with Dennis, and I do get a lot of requests from the residents. They won't wait for him to get back. They request him. I know he has a great working relationship with a lot of the citizens in this town.
Okay.
Any further discussion, council? No?
He answered our question on the contracts.
All right.
Which is what we were asking.
Moving on to 7, ARPA moratorium ordinance.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, the question on the table for the commissioners, would you like to authorize the city attorney and city administrator to move forward with an extension of the current residential plan unit development moratorium that took effect September 9th, 2024, and will be in effect, I believe, until October 28th, because there are advertising requirements and such to come along with that. And just looking for a measure of affirmation from the commissioners to move forward, if that's what you all wish, in your discretion.
One thing that I would like to add to that, again, I think that, thank you, John, but in addition, there have been some legislative changes which may impact our ability to do so. As of right now, we may be able to thread the needle, but we're gonna have to, it's not what it was before, so.
We have Bill SB 180.
Yes.
Yeah, the state wants to change it.
I'll make a motion that we have them proceed with it, knowing that
The
the
potential.
state, the potential that we may have to make adjustments down the road. But at least if we get started on moving it forward, even if we have to make changes because of this new law, we can
So if it's
address them at that point.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
You got that whole motion?
Go back to the video for that.
Any discussion from the council?
I would say that if it's a, something that's gonna be limiting, that we probably should make it for as long as we can. Because once you got it in, it's a little harder to get it out, but trying to, if we only make it a year and then in a year it expires, it's probably not gonna get back in, you know, so, that's all
I
right.
think if I'm not mistaken, it's retroactive, correct? Like it went back instead of, it doesn't matter if you want to put it out for 2 years, 3 years, they went back in time, so.
The state
Could be
law
wrong.
you're saying
Yes.
is going retroactive.
Yeah, we'll have to look into it further to see how exactly it's going to
Right,
affect
I
us.
remember hearing about that.
I would say try and make it for as long as possible, knowing that we may have to
Change.
modify it down the road if the state law comes into it. But I'd say try and make it for as long as possible.
And when we bring this back, you know, I'm happy to speak to some of the intricacies of this new legislation,
Okay.
which may, you know, impact whether, you know, the viability of an additional moratorium. One thing that I will say that I was happy to see is if there is a challenge to the moratorium, it provides the city with a 2-week safe harbor period that effectively allows us to take a step back and avoid any litigation or potential exposure to attorney's
Sure.
fees. So it would give us time to evaluate based on a potential challenge whether or not there's some risk associated with that.
All right. Okay. So we got a, yes.
Should we stay?
Anybody in the public?
Well, we got a motion and a second.
Do we want to clarify the timeline at this time? Like say a year, 2 years?
I think that it might be more prudent for us to see what we can do in terms of viability, with the understanding that the commission has already expressed some intent to make it as
As long-
significant as
Okay.
possible.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
But that wasn't what the motion was.
Okay, so I need to change the motion?
Well, who seconded?
Maybe rescind the second.
Rescind a second, and then you have to,
Okay, so you want me to amend the motion to say that
that's what you
you
want.
can review the existing resolution or ordinance that we have in place, look into extending it for as long as the period of time as possible, with any caveat to any of the new state legislative rulings that may contradict it or cause us to make a change.
That'll work.
Okay, that's my
I'll
motion.
second all of that.
All right. Any other discussion from council before? Any discussion from citizens? Go ahead, Jeff.
Going away 3 weeks and everything was fine. 196 Westbrook Circle, Jeff Bracy. All I want to add to that, counselor and manager, comprehensive plan. After we get done with the budget and everything else, we got to get on that
That's on our
comprehensive plan.
priority
That's all I
list.
want to add to it.
Yep.
Thank you.
We know.
So I will add that one of the things that was amended by SB 180 is that it prevents municipalities from enacting more restrictive comprehensive plan or land development regulations for a period of 3 years. So
We have time.
that's part of the, yeah. Yeah,
Hopefully
we have
they
time to
have
think about it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll get back to us at the next meeting?
Yes.
To let us know?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
provide a report on potential viability.
Okay. Well, we got a motion and a second. Go for a vote.
Commissioner Hyatt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Catagano,
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Warning,
Yes.
ayes have it, Mr. Mayor.
And I have in my notes yet, we definitely want to get with you, Mike, as far as what we need to do, as far as our comprehensive plan,
Yeah,
how we can start the motions on that.
depends on what you want to do. If it's SB 180,
We want to make changes.
you can only make it easier. You can't make it harder.
Comments and concerns from the commission?
No?
And what about the traveling
business.
trophy?
Travel trophies? Let's see.
We got
Oh,
new-
we still got new
New
business.
business, city attorney.
Yeah. Good evening, Commissioners. Again, wanted to speak briefly about the pending Garden Street litigation. We are starting to move into the discovery phase of the litigation. We've set John's deposition, the deposition of Kelly Klepper. Former Attorney Simpson is coming up. And so one of the things that I wanted to propose to the commission is Garden Street is bringing a lot of resources into this litigation. They have 3 attorneys on this, and there is one of me. What I'd like to propose is bringing in a potential second counsel on this. What I'd like to do is get some proposals to present to the commission and find a way, understanding that this is a budget-conscious commission, and this is not something that the commission wants to spend an exorbitant amount of money on. But again, if this is something that we're serious about pursuing, I think that that would be something prudent to consider. So what my suggestion would be, again, is I will get some proposals. I'll present it to the commission in a way that explains how this will work in terms of the commission's current budget, and then a decision can be made at that point.
Okay. That'll be at the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have anything on that? No? Okay. Boards and committee?
Mike, do you have anything?
No, I don't. You've heard enough for me tonight.
City goals? Anything for city goals?
Mayor, we have this,
Wasn't on the agenda, but
it's on our desk.
yeah. Was it an email?
Yeah.
We have an application for appointment to the City Board of Committee Volunteer Opportunity. We have a RPUD member for the, well, not RPUD, I'm sorry, the PLDRC Planning Board.
It's a mouthful.
I know. A member that would like to join. So, has everyone received? Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from council? Any discussion from the citizens? And this is to adding a new member to the board, because we had one member that resigned. And this is for the planning board. Okay?
If it's not on the agenda, you might want to go ahead and tell them who it is.
Yeah, the lady is Rachel Lee.
It's
Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Sorry.
520 North US Highway 1. Let's see.
Longtime member of the community, she was born and raised here.
Anything else? All right. Go for a vote.
Commissioner Hyatt,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Catagano,
Yes.
Commissioner Drollinger,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Commissioner Warning,
Yes.
ayes have it, Mr. Mayor.
All right, moving on, comments and concerns from the commission. Anything?
Your trophy.
Yep. Anything for you, Joe?
Well, Mr. Hale wanted to speak, so I'm gonna go ahead, and can I just
Sure.
let him speak instead of me?
Sure. Well, you can still speak, but
I just want to ask Glenn Hale, 318 Palm Avenue. I would just like to ask the 4 people that Damian James has blamed for his actions, basically, to contact Sheriff Garcia, because he's the one who did the body cam. He's the one who was doing the investigation. And let Sheriff Garcia know that you did not make that claim to Damian James.
So I've already made that claim to him. I've talked to him, and in fact, it's public record. You can go online and you
Okay.
can listen to our telephone call. And I told him that, and I
Fantastic.
corrected Mr. Garcia
Okay.
that day.
Good.
When
Then-
that came
Now
up,
I have
did
something to
contact
go
him,
to
reach out
Mr.
him.
Garcia with. That's fantastic.
Okay, and it's all public record. If you don't believe my story, you can go request that information and get it yourself.
Thank you very much. I'd
But,
like to
yeah,
see the
no, I
mayor do
straightened
it
that
as
out.
well.
From day one, I have told you
Absolutely.
and Damian both that I'll
Mm-hmm.
be glad to help. Any complaints you guys put forward, I'll be glad to help.
Yes, you
Push
guys
whatever
have.
legitimate claims you have.
Yes, you have.
Okay, that's all we can do as a city.
Yep.
Okay, and I stand by that for
Yeah.
you, both you and Damian James.
Yep, and I just want you to know, when he sits there and tells a story on a video and it stops everything that the officer is doing, I needed to make that request and put it on record. So that's what I'm doing.
Please feel free to look up my conversation with Mr. Garcia.
Fantastic,
All
thank you
public
very
record.
much. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate
you.
it. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hill.
Thank you.
you have anything, Joe? No. You have anything, Mark? No? We attended the Volusia League of Cities dinner the other night on Thursday night, and as a group, we all won the Travelers Trophy. I think he said it was since 2013, I think was the last time
Yeah.
we got it.
We had it before.
Yeah.
It wasn't very long ago. It
How long
was
ago?
No, no, we've only had it one other time.
When Gibson was mayor, we had it.
Yeah, when we were.
Yeah,
we had
one
the
time.
I was a
lunch and
commissioner.
dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
but that's the only time.
It was a great
This is the
evening.
second time.
Everybody had a good time.
Beautiful venue.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Honor Guard for Post 285 American Legion contacted me about wanting to do a honoring for September 11 at our local fire department at 11 o'clock. So I have to reach out to the county and see if they'll let us do that at the firehouse that day. So
Okay.
we can put that in the works. But they're willing to come out and do the full-on deal. That would be great for our city.
That would be wonderful.
Yep. And that's all I have.
I don't have anything. Motion to adjourn?
Second that motion.
All right. Thank you all. Have a good night.
If the fire department wouldn't do the 9/11 thing, could we do it at a different location?